Hung pictures of patron saints up on my wall to remind me that I am a fool. Tell me where I came from, what I will always be, just a spoiled little kid who went to Catholic school. When I am dead, I won't join their ranks, 'cause they are both holy and free. And I'm in Ohio, satanic and chained up, and until the end, that's how it'll be. I said, make me love myself so that I might love you. Don't make me a liar, 'cause I swear to God, when I said it, I thought it was true. St. Calvin told me not to worry about you, but he's got his own things to deal with. There's really just one thing that we have in common: neither of us will be missed. St. Bernard sits at the top of the driveway. You always said how you love dogs. I don't know if I count, but I'm trying my best when I'm howling and barking these songs. And I don't. Well, if there's one thing that I'm sure of, it's that I think too much about shit that doesn't matter. And I don't think enough about things that make a difference. But would that even make a difference? Doing anything at all would be overkill. You left some holes in the plot line. I left some holes in your clothes. And we can argue semantics over who left who first. But one thing's for sure, I needed you most. So you left some holes in the plot line. I left some holes in your clothes. And we can argue semantics over who left you first. But one thing's for sure, I needed you most. I'm not good at very much, but I've got just a few exceptional skills that I doubt anyone could hold a candle to. For instance, I can go 3 months or more without ever being sure of anything, and I can transcend my existence with thoughts and words. And when I say transcend, I mean demean. Yeah. You left some holes in the plot line. I left some holes in your clothes. And we can argue semantics over who left who first. But one thing's for sure, I needed you most. Nothing says I miss you quite like I'm running out of time. Nothing says I hate you now like getting sweat stains on a night. I am killing time with a razor blade. It is begging for its life. I am killing time with a razor blade. It is begging for its life. You left some holes in the plot line. I left some holes in your clothes. And we can argue semantics over who left you first. But one thing's for sure, I needed you most. That's just something people say when they're on their last leg and they need someone to say something to help them cope, or someone to say something hopeful. I hope you're okay. That's just something people say. And if I meant every word that I ever said, you would probably question the life I have led. You'd probably think I'm an evil, broken person, and you would be right. 'Cause I went downhill at such steep incline that my rearview mirror showed me only the sky. And I laughed about it all night, and I said, hey man, isn't it poetic that the sky is what we leave behind? 'Cause I was born into the world on a silken cloud, and I got bored of the world before I hit the ground. And you're the one who taught me to be brave. I've never spent a moment loving anyone but you. And maybe that's just something that people say, but I hope that you know it's the truth. I went downhill at such steep incline that my rearview mirror showed me only the sky. And I laughed about it all night, because you were the first one to show me the stars. And they don't mean much to me, but I still wonder where you are. Some nights I still try to find you, relative to constellations. And all your relatives are still on vacation, or so I heard from a friend. Does it mean anything that you stayed in town? Probably. I went downhill at such steep incline, and my rearview mirror showed me only the sky. And I laughed about it all night, and I said, hey man, isn't it poetic that the sky is what we leave behind? 'Cause I was born into the world on a silken cloud, and I got bored of the world before I hit the ground. Hey man, isn't it poetic that the sky is what we leave behind? 'Cause I was born into the world on a silken cloud, and I got bored of the world before I hit the ground. Mile marker 27 says we're on the way to heaven, and I smile.
Close your eyes, you'll be here soon. 1、2、3、4、5分 時本当に寝たいでもこのワードできない
Oh, Yasumi, oh, Yasumi, I know that it's hard to do. Let's go party, show tonight, golden hours, shatters and rise, and all time, with that child in my head, all just
hands of time will wring my neck every little moment spells regret but I don't have to feel this way as a voice inside my head
Oh, Yasumi, I know that it's hard to do. Close your eyes and you'll leave this dream. Oh, Yasumi, I know that it's hard to do.
Welcome to the
I saved every letter you wrote me. From the moment I saw you, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine, I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said when I told her what you'd done? She said, you have married an Icarus. He has flown too close to the sun. Don't take another step in my direction. I can't be trusted around you. Don't think you tuck you away into my arms, into my arms. I'm burning the letters you wrote me. You can stand over there if you want. I don't know who you are, I have so much to learn. I'm rereading your letters and watching them burn. I'm watching them burn. You published the letters she wrote to you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. In clearing your name, you have ruined our lives. Heaven forbid someone whisper he's part of some scheme. Your enemy whispers, so you have to scream. I know about whispers. I see how you look at my sister. Don't. I'm not naive. I have seen women around you. Don't think I don't see how they fall for your charms. All your charms. I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart. You have thrown it all away. Stand back, watch it burn. Just watch it all burn. And when the time comes, explain to the children the pain and embarrassment you put their mother through. When will you learn that they are your legacy? We are your legacy. If you thought you were mine, don't.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Now, everyone, give it up for the maid of honor, Angelica Schuyler.
A toast to the groom,
To the groom, to the groom, to the groom,
to the bride,
to the bride.
from your sister,
Angelica,
who
Angelica,
is always by your side, to your union,
to the revolution.
and the hope that you provide. May you always be satisfied. I remember that night, I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. I remember those soldier boys stripping it over themselves to win our praise. I remember that dream like candlelight, like a dream that you can't quite place. But Alexander, I'll never forget the first time I saw your face. I have never been the same. Intelligent eyes in a hunger pang frame. And when you said hi, I forgot my dang name. Set my heart aflame, every part aflame. This is not a game.
You strike me as a woman who has never been satisfied.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. You forget yourself.
You're like me, I'm never satisfied.
Is that right?
I've never been satisfied.
My name is Angelica Schuyler.
Alexander Hamilton,
Where's your family from?
unimportant, there's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait, just you wait.
So this is what it feels like to match wits with someone at your level. What the hell is the catch? It's the feeling of freedom, of seeing the light. It's Ben Franklin with the key and a kite. You see it right? The conversation lasted 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything we said in total agreement. It's a dream and it's a bit of a dance, a bit of a posture, it's a bit of a stance. He's a bit of a flirt, but I'ma give it a chance. I asked about his family. Did you see his answer? His hands started fidgeting. He looked askance. He's penniless. He's flying by the seat of his pants. Handsome boy, does he know it? Peach fuzz, and he can't even grow it. I wanna take him far away from this place. Then I turn and see my sister she is helpless, and I know she is helpless, and her eyes are just helpless, and I realize 3 fundamental truths at the exact same time.
Where are you taking me?
I'm about to change your life.
Then by all means, lead the way.
Number 1. I'm a girl in a world in which my only job is to marry rich. My father has no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb for one. So I'm the oldest and the wittiest, and the gossip in New York City is insidious, and Alexander is penniless. That doesn't mean I want him any less. Elizabeth Schuyler, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Schuyler.
My sister.
Number 2. He's after me because I'm a Schuyler sister. That elevates the status side. Have to be naive to set that aside. Maybe that is why I introduced him to Eliza. Now that's his bride. Nice going, Angelica. He was right. You will never be satisfied. Thank you for all your service.
If it takes fighting a war for us to meet, it will have been worth it.
I'll leave you to it.
Number 3. I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. If I tell her that I love him, she'd be silently resigned. He'd be mine. She would say I'm fine. She'd be lying. But when I fantasize at night, it's Alexander's eyes as I romanticize what might have been if I hadn't sized him up so quickly. At least, my dear Eliza's his wife. At least I keep his eyes in my life. To the groom, to the groom, to the groom, to the groom, to the bride, to the bride, to the bride. From your sister, Angelica, is always by your side. To your union, and the hope that you provide. She'll be happy as his bride, and I know he will never be satisfied. I will never be satisfied.
Theodosia writes me a letter every day. I'm keeping her bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side in Georgia. He's trying to keep the colonies in line. Well, he can keep all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm by her side when so many have tried, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. My grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher. But there are things that the homilies and hymns won't teach ya. My mother was a genius. My father commanded respect. When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep living anyway. We rise and we fall and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm still alive when everyone who loves me has died, I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Standing still, lying, lying in wait. Hamilton it like in his shoes? Hamilton doesn't hesitate. He exhibits no restraint. Takes and he takes and he takes and he keeps winning anyway. Changes the game, plays and he raises the stakes. And if there's a reason he seems to thrive and so few survive, then goddammit, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Life doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we give it anyway. We rise and we fall and we fall. Make our mistakes, and if there's a reason I'm still alive and so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
After the war, I went back to New York.
After the war, I went back to New York.
I finished up my studies and I practiced law.
I practiced law, Burr worked next door.
Even though we started at the very same time, Alexander Hamilton began to climb. How to account for his rise to the top? Man, the man is non-stop.
Gentlemen of the jury, I'm curious, bear with me. Are you aware that we're making history? This is the first murder trial of our brand new nation, the liberty behind the liberation. I intend to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Well, if there's one thing that I'm sure of, it's that I think this is for the lions living in the wiry, broke down frames of my friends' bodies. When the floodwater comes, it ain't gonna be clear, it's gonna look like mud. But I will help you swim. I will help you swim. I'm gonna help you swim. This is for the snakes and the people they bite, for the friends I've made, for the sleepless nights, for the warning signs I've completely ignored. There's an amount to take, reasons to take more. It's no big surprise you turned out this way when they closed their eyes and prayed you would change, and they cut your hair and sent you away. You stopped by my house the night you escaped with tears in my eyes. I begged you to stay. You said, hey man, I love you, but no fucking sure that we could find something for you to do on stage. Maybe shake a tambourine, or when I sing, you sing harmonies. Should have felt good, but I You are my peach, you are my plum, you are my earth, you are my sun. All of your fingers, all of your toes, the back of your head, the tip of your nose. And you are the reason I'm smiling when there's nothing to smile about. Yeah, you are the reason I'm smiling when there's nothing to smile about. One day you will find someone who will love you like you deserve. But tonight I'm the only one left, and I'm betting it's a fact that you will never learn. Once I sink my teeth, your skin's not so tough. I'll leave a tiny cut, there'll be a lot of blood, but once you wipe it up, you will feel better about our entire situation. You are my light, no need to hide. You are my clock, keep me on time. You are my angel, you are my crime. I'll serve this sentence the rest of my life. You are the reason I'm smiling when there's nothing to smile about. Yeah, you are the reason I'm smiling when there's nothing to smile about. I do things wrong, you thought I might. You say I'm gonna miss you when you leave, and you are probably right. But I'm just as stoned, I don't wanna fight. You say I should think before I talk. You say I should think about my life, 'cause once I finally hit the ground, who's gonna drag me into the light? It's just so hard to see tomorrow past tonight. Whoa, it's just so hard to see tomorrow past tonight. Whoa.
What a strange being you are. God knows where I would be if you hadn't found me sitting all alone in the dark. A dumb screenshot of youth. Watch how a cold, broken teen will desperately lean on a superglued human of proof. What the hell would I be without you? The hell would I be? Brave face talk so lightly, hide the truth, the truth. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as fucked up as me, so how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as fucked up as me, so how do we win? So what's one more in our grey-haired circle waiting for the end? Time and hearts will wear us thin. So which path will you take? 'Cause we both know a break does exactly what it says on the tin. What the hell would I be without you? What the hell would I be? Brave face talk so lightly, hide the truth. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as fucked up as me. So how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as fucked up as me. So how do we win? Fucked up as me, so how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as fucked up as me, so how do we win?
Now you know, Caddy, Regina George is not your friend.
Lock the fire escapes.
Oh, come and see the opening band. Now that you've got your tickets and beverages in hand, they look so tired, sound uninspired. Guitars are secondhand, 'cause no one likes an opening band. Nobody likes the opening band. Their set time's far too early, and I've never heard of them. And chances are it won't go far. Career is sure to end, 'cause no one likes an opening band. Oh, unfamiliar things will make us nervous, but singing here for you gives me a purpose. So take pity on the opening band, 'cause no one came to see them except their mom and dad. But if you lend an ear and give them just one little chance, you may just like you may just like you may just like the opening band.
Don't be fooled by the pink. She is not playing dolls. She is stalking the halls for the thrill of the kill. Every person in school is aware of her stare. When she tosses her hair, they go perfectly still. All their eyes say, don't attack me. Watch them sweat and pant and shake. Every food chain has its Acme. Regina George eats steak. She's the queen of beasts. She can smell your fear in this biosphere. She's the apex predator, like a lioness, only with less fur. Do not mess with her. She's the apex predator. At the watering hole, see the girls who weren't nice have to scatter like mice from a jungle cat. And though Janice is great, she does not have this power. People literally cower. Janice can't do that. See us mark our territory as I follow in her train. I was victim, I was quarry. Now I shake my mane. She's the queen of beasts, and I'm in her pride. I have hitched a ride with the apex predator.
Welcome back to the Superstar Showcase. Well, we'd like to thank the Glitter Gals for once again appearing on our show. The next act is a music act. Happy that they're here. Here they are, the I Don't Knows.
Dance. Dance. That's enough.
Thank you very much. It is great to be here hosting Saturday Night Live. That is a very weird thing to say. I was a writer here for 5 years, some of the best years of my life, and to be hosting here is just surreal. I mean, I used to write monologues for the host. Now I'm up here, I get to give the monologue. I get to introduce the musical guest. I mean, that's incredible. The best intro, by the way, I ever saw of an SNL host with the musical guest was Sir Patrick Stewart, okay? Sir Patrick Stewart was introducing the musical guest, and this is how he did it. He went, "Ladies and gentlemen, salt and pepper!" Like he was surprised by pepper. Like minutes before, they'd been like, "We can't find pepper anywhere." And he was like, "If we must go on with salt alone, we will go on with salt alone." And they're like, 3, 2, 1. And Pepper bursts through the door and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, salt. And what's this? Pepper!" It was the best time. It was an innocent time, you know? When I was younger, I thought that the world was gonna be simple and nice. But now, at the end of my life, I'm not so sure. I'm getting grumpy, which I don't like. Like, I don't like any new songs. I don't like any new songs. Because every new song is about how tonight is the night and how we only have tonight. That's the message in 90% of songs. That's such 19-year-old garbage. I want to write songs for people in their 30s called "Tonight's No Good, How About Wednesday?" Oh, you're in Houston on Wednesday? Oh, okay. Well, then let's just not see each other for 6 months, and it doesn't matter at all. I try to stay polite. I'm overly polite, apparently, my wife says. When my wife and I walk down the street, we have totally different styles. When she walks down the street, she does not care what anyone thinks about her in any situation. She's my hero. When I walk down the street, I need everyone to like me so much. It's exhausting. My wife said that walking around with me was like walking around with someone who's running for mayor of nothing. People ask us if we're gonna have children. We don't have any, and so we say no. And they go, never, you're never gonna have kids? And I'm like, I don't know never. Look, 14 years ago, I smoked cocaine the night before my college graduation. Now I'm a flu shot. I like old-fashioned things, you know? I was in Connecticut recently doing white people stuff, and... Really? Okay. And one day in Connecticut, it doesn't matter why, but I was sitting in a gazebo, and there was a plaque on the gazebo, and it said, this gazebo was built by the town in 1863. That's in the middle of the Civil War. And they built a gazebo. How did that town meeting work? They were like, all right, everyone, first order of business. We have all the telegrams from Gettysburg with the war dead. Let's see here. Okay, everyone's husband and brother, and everyone died. Okay. Josiah, you had something? Yes, I do. How'd you like to be indoors and out of doors all at once? Ever walking through the park with your betrothed and it starts to rain, but you still want to hold hands? Well, may I introduce you to, and my condolences again to everyone, the gazebo! Building a gazebo during the Civil War would be like doing stand-up comedy now. They used to do weird, slow, leisurely activities in the old days because they didn't have enough to do, so they had to fill the day. Back then, you woke up and you're like, oh, God, it's the old days. I gotta wear all those layers. We gotta think of some weird, slow activities to fill the time, and they did. Have you ever seen, like, old film from the past of people, like, waving at a ship? What if I called you now to do that? Hey, what are you doing Monday? There's a Norwegian cruise line leaving for Martinique around 10 a.m. Here's my plan. We get very dressed up, including hats, and we wave handkerchiefs at the ship till it disappears over the horizon. No, I don't know anyone on the ship. Everything's fast now, and it's totally unreasonable. The world is run by computers. The world is run by robots. And sometimes they ask us if we're a robot, just because we're trying to log on and look at our own stuff. Multiple times a day. May I see my stuff, please? I smell a robot. Prove you're not a robot. Look at these curvy letters. Much curvier than most letters, wouldn't you say? No robot could ever read these. You look mortal if ye be. You look. And you type what you think you see. Is it an E or is it a 3? That's up to ye. The passwords have passed, you've correctly guessed, but now it's time for the robot test. I've devised a question no robot could ever answer. Which of these pictures does not have a stop sign in it? What? You spend a lot of your day telling a robot that you're not a robot. Think about that for 2 minutes and tell me you don't want to walk into the ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show for you tonight. Jack White is here.
Welcome back to The Late Show. I'm so happy to have my first guest tonight. He is a hilarious comedian you know from Broadway's Oh Hello. He's now on his Kid Gorgeous comedy tour. Please welcome John Mulaney. Welcome back. John Mulaney, everybody. Welcome back. This is the third time?
This is the third time I've been here.
Is it the third time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not third time's a charm.
That's what they say.
We'll get it this time.
Yeah, we'll be charming this time.
Now, that's a lovely jacket. Velvet?
Yeah, this is black velvet.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. This collected a lot of stuff backstage, but they rolled me off with tape, and then I walked out, and now I'm on TV.
Yeah. So we know it's this change of the seasons when you can bring the black velvet out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an old Mel Torme line, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the change of the seasons when you can bring the old velvet out.
Well, you've super busy. You're super busy. No surprise there. Young, talented man like you.
That's nice of you to say. I've been on tour since May, pretty much, and now we're getting into, like, gone every night. So it's
What do you mean gone every night?
Going on the road all the time.
Oh, but not gone for a long period of time. You don't come home every night. You go on the road and then your daddy's just gone.
I don't say daddy's gone. That upsets people, but...
do you have children?
No, I have a dog, though.
Then you should not say daddy's gone.
No.
Gotta
No
be
one
weird
should.
if you said to your wife, daddy's gone.
Daddy's gone, yeah. I mean, daddy's home, at least you're physically there, so you can deal with the aftermath of, like, what did you just say? Yeah, we've been gone, I have been traveling a lot. And that's why I don't know my articles or pronouns.
So it's called Kid Gorgeous?
The tour.
Are you Kid Gorgeous?
I don't know. It's just a name. I kept reading names to my wife at a restaurant until she laughed, and that was the one she went with. She laughed a lot at Kid Gorgeous, and I was like, I guess it has to be that. I like old-fashioned things, and Kid Gorgeous seems
Kid
like
Gorgeous
something
sounds
from the
like you're
past.
like a middleweight boxer.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
who's famous for never having his nose broken.
Yes.
He's Kid Gorgeous.
There was a Mo on The Simpsons was Kid Gorgeous, then he was Kid Presentable. And I wanted it to be called Kid Charlemagne after the Steely Dan song, but everyone in my life warned me against that, saying that would be lost on people and not be an effective tour name.
Whereas Kid Gorgeous has resonance all across America.
People like vanity, yeah.
Well, you're coming back to New York for 4 nights at Radio City, totally sold out.
4 shows sold out, yeah, and we're adding a 5th now. So yeah, thank you very much.
That's great. Have you played Radio City before?
I've never played
Extraordinary.
Radio City.
Extraordinary house.
Extraordinary place. I want to rest before it. I'm getting a little fried on this tour, but it's going to be an amazing.
What kind of rest do you need?
So I took a vacation with my wife Anna. I'd been gone for about 12 nights, and we went to a farm to relax in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
And it was, we got there, and...
Is that what this is? Somebody gave me photos before you came out.
Oh,
here. Is that
yeah,
what this
yeah.
is?
I'll show you that in a moment.
Okay.
I had a bit of a nervous breakdown while I was at the farm.
Okay.
So I land from San Francisco, we get a rental car, and we drive to Connecticut. And we get there, and I'm really exhausted, and I'm feeling just sort of existentially insane. But I'm trying to hold it together.
Sure.
And then, the current president tweeted something like, no talks with North Korea, you know what that means? And I was like, that's not helping my situation. That was that weekend he did that. So I was out walking with my dog trying to calm down, and I saw a gaggle of geese.
Yeah, gaggle of geese.
A gaggle of geese.
Yes.
And I ran towards them, and they flew away, and it was very amusing. So then later on in the afternoon, the geese are back, and I have the dog again. I say to my wife, check this out. And I run towards the geese, and they hold their ground. And one of them looks at me and opens his mouth, and he had this light pink mouth. And he went like, and like caveman DNA in me knew, like, get out of here right now. Like some old ancestor ran at some pterodactyls, and it wasn't good, and this was like that. It was like, these are dinosaurs. Like, get out of here right now. And I ran across the creek, and I said to my wife, those geese weren't messing around, you know? And you know how you say that to your wife? And
yeah.
She said, what the hell were you doing? Geese attack people. She's like, you're such a city boy. I was like, I didn't know geese attack people. She was like, yeah. She said, my brother was attacked by a swan. So later on in the evening...
Not the same as a goose.
Not as same as a goose, but you expect more of a swan because it's more cosmopolitan.
They're glamorous.
They're glamorous,
They're
yeah.
glamorous,
We hold them to a higher degree. It's sad. So I'm sitting, okay. So this was like fatigue, and I'm also trying to hold it together in front of my wife. I didn't tell her about the nuclear wars stuff, as if I'm the only one with a newspaper, you know? I was like, oh, I'll hide this. So then I'm staring out the window. My dog jumps into my lap. It's a nice moment. My wife takes a photo of it. We look at the photo. It's sweet.
This is it?
I go to get dressed.
Can I show the photo?
Yeah, well, 1 second. No, I don't mean to interrupt your flow. I just wanted you to know that we took a photo. We look at it. Then I leave the room. Then we come back and look at it again, and there's a green spot that we never saw right there where my wedding band meets my dog's stomach.
I got a close-up right here.
And I said, what the hell is that? We zoom in, push in, and it looks like the moon through the trees. And I said, what is that? And as soon as I said, what is that, some voice in me that warned me about the geese went, you know it's a ghost. So, imagine for a moment that a green orb appears on your dog in a photo. That very much looks like the moon through the trees. And imagine you're exhausted. You can imagine how you'd leap to ghosts.
Sure.
Have you never seen a ghost?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I think so. I mean, I think this place might be haunted.
Yes, theaters are haunted. That was also
frequently
the thing.
haunted.
Yeah, I'd been on the road and I'm doing theaters. They're like from 1900, 1910. And I'd been, you know, very cavalier about ghosts. I'd go, is this place haunted? And we'd laugh about the ghosts that lived there. So I felt that I had a comment in some way. A haunting of sorts.
Well, theaters like famously have ghosts. Like theaters have what's called ghost lights to keep the ghost in on purpose.
And if you go to an old theater, just ask the stagehands, like, is there a ghost here? You know, and they'll be like, there's a ghost. I did a theater in Kansas City called the Midlands, and I asked if there was a ghost, and they said the janitor was killed there in like 1910, and he still haunts the lobby. And I said, what does he do? And they said, we see him sweeping up. And I said, well, that's double terrible. That he's stuck between realms, and that he still has to clean the lobby. It'd be nice if they were like, we saw him applying for a new position, then we saw him managing the lobby.
Yeah. I know there's a ghost in this building because sometimes, like, even during the show, like, a guest will be sitting right there, and I'll hear this voice coming from the guest going, I wish Dave was still here.
That's probably something Dave planted.
Yeah, probably.
So I saw that, and I'd been trying to hold it together all day.
Wait, this just today?
No, that day at the farm.
Oh, okay.
I push in on the photo, and I go, tell me that doesn't look like the moon through the trees. And my wife's like, are you okay? And I said, I think we need to leave right now.
No, you didn't.
I did, yeah.
You can't get your deposit back because you think you saw a ghost?
No, you cannot. But it was already dark on the farm roads, and I was like, if this were a movie, would it be a good idea to drive out in the dark? And also, I didn't want to say too loud what my plan was in case the ghosts were listening.
Did the ghosts,
I'm sad to say.
Were the ghosts saying anything, or were you getting voices in your head, anything like that? She doesn't understand you. She's your enemy. Do something.
Oh no!
Like one of those like shining kind of.
Like
things?
I was possessed because I was assuming my dog was possessed.
I think you probably had like some schmutz on your camera.
We had what it turned out to be was lens flare. We looked it up and on like I won't say what brand of phone, but it's an iPhone, and. It's a common thing where you get these green dots, and that's the reflection of the sun coming through the trees and the window pane behind me.
All right. Now, if you saw this glowing ball on your dog not on camera,
yeah,
that would be something to be upset about.
I would just bow down in front of her and be like, I'll do whatever you want.
Hey, you know what I really like?
What's that?
Big Mouth.
Thank you very much.
The show that you are doing with Nick Kroll,
this is
our friend also of the show over
This is
here.
a wonderful animated show on Netflix that Nick Kroll and Andrew Goldberg, his friend from childhood, created. And
you play Andrew.
I play Andrew, yeah. I'm one of his good friends now in adult life, and I play his best friend in childhood.
And it's about kids going through puberty.
Yes.
In very funny and very honest, harrowing ways.
Yeah.
Because puberty is very upsetting.
Yes, it's sort of a magical, realist, nightmarish scape puberty comedy.
Yes.
And I think it's how puberty feels in a lot of ways.
Were you go to Catholic schools growing up?
Yeah, only exclusively.
Exclusively, okay. Jesuit schools, okay. So those they teach you good. But did they teach you like about sex? Did you have like puberty, like health class or anything like that?
We had health class.
Did they go through the birds
We
and the
did
bees?
sort of a miracle of life on the please don't ever have sex side of it.
Okay. It's a miracle that you want nothing to do with.
Yeah. And they said, you know, they were like, none of the contraceptives work, so don't try them. And, well.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, we were kids. It's unfortunately had a lasting effect in the subconscious of my brain, but. They then, the big thing was they would show us the Miracle of Life video. And I fainted at that, not 1 year, not 2 years, but 3 years in a row.
I hesitate to ask, what is in the Miracle of Life video that would make John Mulaney pass out?
I don't know if anyone's seen it. It begins with a couple that does not look contemporary. They're in the early 1980s or the late 1970s. And then it goes to some animation of how their tubes and different valves work. And then you're like watching these diagrams and you're like, all right. And then it's a hard cut to the entry of a human into the world.
Of a human?
Coming through the loins of their mother, which is nothing wrong with that.
Of course not.
Right.
We've all
Perfectly
done
natural.
it.
Absolutely. Even cesarean, however you want to do it. It's all fantastic. So I would look, and I went, the first year I went, huh? And then I was on the floor. The second year...
You know what's coming.
The second year I know it's coming, I go, no way am I going to flinch this time. So I stared longer. And I watched more of the opening number. Hit the floor. The third year, people were rooting for me to faint. And looking back. And they were going, he's gonna go, he's gonna faint. And the pressure. I don't even know if I was watching the video. I think I had a panic attack because all the eyes were on me. And I fainted again, maybe just to appease them. What a life, what a sad life to want to entertain so much that I'll collapse for you if you cheer loud enough.
You're a pro. You're Kid Gorgeous is what you are.
Yes, thank you.
It's nice to say, John Mulaney's Kid Gorgeous is at Radio City Music Hall this February. John Mulaney, everybody.
Very much, John, for being. Is that a present for? Is that a present for me?
I am so excited.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Late Show, already in progress. Folks, my first guest tonight is a very funny stand-up comedian and a very funny elderly star of Oh Hello on Broadway. Please welcome John Mulaney. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How are you?
Nice to see you, Stephen.
Haven't seen you in a long time. You were on here, 2016 was the last time we were talking.
I did the show then. I've seen you since then.
I don't
but you
think
you did not see me.
Where were you?
And that's a deeply creepy. I was in your bushes. That's a
What
deeply creepy way to start any kind of sentence.
So you've seen me, but I haven't seen you.
I've seen the back of your head. Have you?
That doesn't make me feel any better.
And the back of your wife's head. Let me be clear.
Okay, good. So now
Do you recall the Met Gala at the Metropolitan Museum of Art?
The fundraising thing they do for the
their costume wing.
Institute
It's
there,
like it's prom.
So we were in the line to go
So you're
into...
in the line. You and your beautiful wife were in the line, and me and my beautiful wife were right behind you for about a half an hour. And I never said
Why didn't
hello.
you say hi?
I choked.
But I don't know anybody there. I would love somebody to talk to.
But you know, it became too late to say hello at a certain point. Because I knew it was you, and I was like, it's Colbert. And my wife was like, say hi. And I was like, what if he just turns and goes like, this is real life, you know? And...
So right now,
what if you realize
I'm totally bull you right now by saying that I like you.
So friendly on air.
Right.
But when you're in the Egyptian wing of the Met, he turns on you.
No eye contact,
No
Mulaney.
eye contact. Bob Dylan rules. So...
But I was nervous of the people in front of me because I was behind Claire Foy, who plays Elizabeth in The Crown. And
you were behind
Felicity
the Queen
Jones,
of England. Yeah.
Felicity Jones from Rogue One. The two of them were in front of me, and I was.
Did you say hi to them?
I said hello to Claire Foy because she had been on the couch here.
Oh,
so I had a
so you
connection.
do talk to people off the show?
Anytime you want. Anytime
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go to the Met tomorrow? But I had just blown it too. So I was also in a state because before we walked into this event, I said to my wife, "Who's the one person you want to meet?" And she said, "Kim Kardashian." I said, "That's a great answer." We're in this long line, right? And I'm walking and I see the artist Jeff Koons. Okay?
Sure, sure.
And I go, "Hey, Anna, it's Jeff Koons." And right then, Kim Kardashian is walking this way. I go, "Hey, Anna, it's Jeff Koons." "Oh, no!" Like that. Kim Kardashian gets spooked and keeps walking. And my wife doubles over laughing and is like, "You blew it."
Oh, she spooks easily. She's like a forest animal. You have to just, you have to get up like in a blind and let her come through, like at dawn.
And oh no is never a good thing to yell at anyone, even if you know them well. So she got away, and she got away. That's,
sure.
That's
she didn't fall into your snare.
This is a serial killer. She got away, but I won't be foiled again, Stephen.
Please say hello next time.
I will say hello next
time
time that we're dressed in gowns in the Egyptian wing of the Metropolitan Museum.
You are a busy man right now. You got so much going on. You got a new album out. You got a new tour. Oh Hello on Broadway, which you invited me to come do a little thing.
You were a wonderful guest.
We had a good time. That's going to be out on Netflix.
That is going to come out on Netflix in a couple days.
Couple days, okay.
The album is out in a couple days.
What I love about this is that, okay, so here you are. You're a comedian. You put out a comedy album. Why on vinyl?
Why on vinyl?
Is it just warmer? What is
I
it?
actually haven't seen it before. Can I see it?
Oh, yeah. You literally haven't seen your own album?
No, because it's like, "We have a bunch of copies for you, but my apartment's too small, so I sent them to my friend's place." This is so great. There you are.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's really beautiful. And I like
It's
kind of the
vinyl.
Mary Tyler Moore thing on the front.
Yeah,
it's very
we
classy.
modeled it after jazz albums. Oh, look, it's got a real record.
Yeah, it's a real record.
That's really cool.
It's not... Yeah, it's not Beggar's Banquet inside. It's actually your album.
It's, we did the Broadway show. I'm trying to go backwards in terms of relevance. So Broadway, vinyl, and then I'll do a puppet show at Ellis Island. And then...
For the immigrants.
Yeah, for the immigrants.
And they're like, we might head back to the old country. I think we're...
Our eyes are not filled with wonder at your puppet show. And then I'm going to release a Dogger type eventually. And that'll be the end of my career. A Dogger type.
A Dogger type. I didn't know it was pronounced that way.
Maybe it's not. Is it daguerreotype?
I thought it was.
Well, edit that out too, please.
Why, is there something else? Is there something else? Oh, for my monologue.
No, I meant...
Yeah, great.
That's just an expression.
Yeah.
Edit that out too,
just
please. Yeah, you know. It's a showbiz talk.
Do you use that term? Do you use showbiz talk with your wife? Because my wife and I like to say to each other, if one of us is trying to cheer up the other one, and we don't want to be cheered up, we'll go, "That's not playing to this camera."
That is ultra specific.
Yeah.
That is ultra. Did your wife direct the Mike Douglas show or something? That is such ultra Merv.
Did you? So you just went to Japan, right?
Yeah, my wife and I went to Japan.
What is that like? I've never been. I've always wanted to go.
You gotta go to Japan.
Was this for business or was this just for pleasure?
This was just for pleasure and to see Japan. My wife had been before, but I'd never been. I loved it. I am not I would rather in life be polite than do anything. So like, if you and I were walking through a doorway, I would go like this, and if you went like that, I would go like that, and if you went like that, that would go on for an hour. And in Japan, you know, and I don't want to speak in generalizations, but there's a sense of etiquette that so jibes with me, where like you would rather like just curl up into a ball than ever offend anyone. And I'm very bad at walking around the streets as a human being.
Like anywhere or Japan?
Anywhere, but I did well in Japan because it was just like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Oh, like you don't like the rough and tumble of New York
I
streets,
embarrass my wife all day long walking around because I want everyone to like me. I once said hello to balloons because they were in my peripheral vision, and I was like, look, better safe than sorry. Hi, and then it was balloons. And so we went to a Best Buy, and I was with my wife, and the guy said...
They still have those?
Yeah, and the guy said, do you have a Best Buy rewards card? And I said, no, I wish. And my wife said, oh my God, and walked away, walked over to the printers, and stood facing away from me. And then the guy said, do you want a Best Buy rewards card? And I said, no.
So did you, when you were over there, did you have to explain what was going on in America to them? Was this recently, since the election?
They have seen the news. Yeah, this was after the election.
They have the news over there.
But they were trying to feel us out. They were like, so are you happy with recent developments? And we were like, no, we're not, you know.
Yeah.
We're nice people. And not that you're not nice if, you know, I'm going on a national tour. Not if you're not nice.
Yes,
but
you just don't like nice people.
We're fun and nice. We like David Bowie, and we don't understand taxes, so we're liberal people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So we explained that to them, and they said, "Are you sad? Are you scared? Are you sad? Are you scared?" I thought, no, we're not like sad. You know, I'm like kind of an optimistic person about it all. So I tried to explain that to them.
Yeah.
That to me, it's like there's a horse loose in a hospital. like I think everything's gonna be okay, but I have no idea what's gonna happen next. And like none of you know either. Like we've all never not known together. And on the news, they try to get people, they're like, we have a man here who once saw a bird in an airport. It's like, get the hell out of here. This is a horse loose in a hospital. And we're all like, it's not good.
There are worse things. But there are worse things.
Yes, but it's confusing.
Yes.
Because every day we just have to follow the horse. And some days it's like, the horse used the elevator. You're like, is the horse... You know those days where you're like, is the horse smart? And then we're all just like, why hasn't the horse catcher caught the horse? And then the horse is like, I have fired the horse catcher. And you're like, that shouldn't be a thing.
Is this just called, I think, The Comeback Kid?
The Comeback Kid, yeah.
John Mulaney, the album is The Comeback Kid. Oh Hello on Broadway comes out next Tuesday on Netflix. John Mulaney, everybody. We'll be right back with Richard Branson. Please welcome John Mulaney.
We like David Bowie, and we don't understand taxes, so we're liberal people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So we explained that to them, and they said, are you sad? Are you scared? Are you sad? Are you scared? I thought, no, we're not like sad. You know, I'm like kind of an optimistic person about it all. So I tried to explain that to them.
Yeah.
That to me, it's like there's a horse loose in a hospital. like I think everything's gonna be okay, but I have no idea what's gonna happen next. And like none of you know either. Like we've all never not known together. And on the news, they try to get people, they're like, we have a man here who once saw a bird in an airport. It's like, get the hell out of here. This is a horse loose in a hospital. And we're all like, it's not good.
There are worse things. But there are worse things.
Yes, but it's confusing.
Yes.
Because every day we just have to follow the horse. And some days it's like, the horse used the elevator. You're like, is the horse... You know those days where you're like, is the horse smart? And then we're all just like, why hasn't the horse catcher caught the horse? And then the horse is like, I have fired the horse catcher. And you're like, that shouldn't be a thing.
Just too anxious for a lot of things. I get very nervous all the time. Not even about like major life things, just like about in everyday situations. Like, this is my regular speaking voice, but if I'm in a public bathroom and someone knocks too suddenly on the stall door, I go into a whole different speaking voice, which is, hey, someone's in here! Someone's in here! So if they're gonna be like, I think there's a carnival barker in there. I think someone's trying to drum up business for a carnival. I decided to do something about all this anxiety recently. I decided I was gonna try and get a Xanax prescription. I don't know if anyone here has ever tried Xanax, but it's fantastic.